Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of October 24th through the 30th of 2016. Now, this week, especially after last week with all that full moon energy, what's going on, people? I'll tell you, we have our more intense energies coming in. Doesn't play well for everybody this time of year, but I think for the most part, it's intense in a good way. On the 24th, Mercury will enter Scorpio, and on the 30th, we'll have a new moon there as well. So they're both joining the sun in Scorpio. And I have to tell you, when I say intense, I think the conversations get real and things, it's like time to get down to the nitty gritty. And Scorpio is the keeper of secrets, so conversations at this time could take on a very different, you know, way of being. There may be some secrets which are told, some which are revealed, some which are kept. But let's see what we have here in the cards, because, like I said, I feel like this is actually intense in a good way. Okay? There is that, having reached the point where you're standing on your own 2 feet more so than you have in a long time, and this is about your identity, like who you are now, not who you were before. And so you're getting ready to move on. And there's some doubt associated with this. That bothers me a little bit, because maybe you're not trusting your self-worth or this new chapter that's unfolding, and because you don't know how it's going to play out. Nobody does, right? But there's a lot of information coming your way, as well as a great deal of success. And, this is an emotional success worth celebrating. What does that mean? I really feel like it's some form of exuberance over, removing at least one of those stressful situations. It feels good. It feels, like almost therapeutic, where you finally found a solution for something somewhere. I think back last week, actually, to be honest with you. And that now puts you at the point this week where you're like, okay, that feels good. I've got a little bit of relief. What can I do about other stressful situations which have been hanging around? So, it's time to address some things, and that's in a good way. So there's some, what I wanted to say was, Scorpios are very serious. So it's that serious nature. While you're feeling exuberant about it, you're also ready to tackle all of these serious issues. And I'm liking that for you, okay? Because this energy can be very helpful to you if you don't fear it. The fear is what can block your ability to stand on your own 2 feet here. Don't let that energy, hold you back. So, as far as being able to, defend yourself and rally the support that you need to get the job done. Wow. You have had patience, and more patience. And you're really getting to that point now where your focus has shifted. Like, I want to say finally, like in a big way, has shifted from the loss part. The loss part doesn't bother you anymore. That's a good thing, a very good thing. As a matter of fact, your focus has really shifted to the how can I balance out my life? How can I make things be right again? Okay. I'm loving that you're at this point now where you're able to deal with things that need to be dealt with. And I don't think that they're bad things. It's sort of like things that help you along your path. So there's a lot of knowledge that you have now which will help you towards your change. And, the vision itself is becoming clearer as to what needs to be done. You're feeling more, I want to say more grounded, more down to earth about things. And there is, I don't want to use the word frugality. I'm going to say more like a sense of practicality, okay, when it comes to expenditures and security and creating a nest egg. If the difficulties that you've had that were so stressful involve finances, you're like, okay, it's time to review the budget. It's time to reduce some things. It takes time. So you're going to work on this a little bit, but oh my word, I hadn't even looked at all of these, okay? I have to tell you, power, 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 power. Your power. I can't emphasize the word enough. It's finally coming back, like where you feel you have choices and the clarity is there. How do you want to create your change? I am loving this. I'm telling you, your view on everything has changed drastically this year. Okay? When you began the year, you were like, okay, I'm going to do everything I got to do to go forward. And you kept meeting with resistance the whole entire time. So along the way, you kind of zigged and zagged and, went in all different directions. A lot of them felt backward as well. But, that limbo that you were in, trying to find your way out of, like, what would be appropriate for this time of the year in the U.S., a corn maze, okay, has you emerging, from this maze and a whole new light, a whole new way of understanding. This is more awesome than I can describe, because what I kind of get from it is that you have become more in tune with the universe, where you're not blocking your own path. A lot of people have a tendency to do that. I think everyone has a tendency to do that. When things go wrong and they're overwhelming and you can't see the way out, you kind of stay in that mode for a while until you start saying, okay, I can change this, I can do that, and eventually things start to give, and then you see your way out of the mess, and behold, the light of day. So you really are getting a fresh start in here, and I'm loving this. There's a lot of wisdom that comes in with it, okay? I think you scrutinize things more carefully now, like the right and the wrong, looking over the details of it, and not so quick to make decisions. So, if anything seems a little bit confusing, you're not reckless about jumping in and saying, okay, I'm just going to do that. You're not going to do something when the fog is there. Oh, those birds are loud, aren't they? It's very early in the morning. Okay, so being creative towards your stability. Wow. Be careful in this aspect. In other words, I want to say don't take on too much, because if you do and you start trying to juggle too many new things, this may be a fresh start. But remember, I talked so many times about taking your time and going slow. You don't want to feel like, the rug's being pulled out from under you, where I would call it like a misstep, that type of thing, where if you're trying to do too much and then you find out you can't handle it all, whoops, you drop the ball. And that's not good. You don't want to do that. Just keep it all like within your skills, and you can gradually take on new things. This is a year of discovery, like discovering who you are, things that you never knew about yourself that you're capable of doing. So there are more decisions to come. Wow. Some of them are coming out of the blue. Now, this is a weekly, but I still feel like there's something that's out there, something that's trying to make its way to you. And I think it really becomes a part of your life by March. Okay? That's a good thing. So you're working your way toward that. There is so much to see and do along the way, and so much to learn. So there's that change that comes in that helps you assess, I want to say, the past and the future, in a sense that you realize that you've given birth to a new phase here. Okay, like a whole new cycle has opened up. And follow along and notice, because we have the moon this week. Okay, and notice that this new moon brings you to smoother waters. That transition, you've been in it and you've been like, ugh, where am I going? What am I doing? You finally kind of feel like you landed somewhere and you can just wash it all away. I can't even begin to explain it. It's as if going and taking a shower would be the easiest way to relieve you of all of your stress and your troubles. If only life were that easy. What I like here is that there is a hint. It's a hint somewhere, and if you're paying attention and you're wise enough, you'll realize it's a hint of what the future holds. Something, you know, you realize is going on. I don't think it's with you. It's that thing that's out there. So pay attention to your surroundings, because while you may be like, oh, that's it, it's coming, I want to go forward. I don't care if it's love or if it's whatever. Don't push it, don't rush it. I think by rushing it, it's not going to work out at this moment in time. You still have too much to do, but something's happening. There is discovery that's taken place this week, and things are, you realize that things are different and they're going to be different. And you have this new moon. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What do you hope to, like your intentions? Oh, yeah. I would say your intentions should be toward balance. How to now balance out your life. Because as you realize how much you have survived, and you're like, yep, here I go. I may be tired from it all, but I'm still hanging and I'm still going, and I'm a survivor, and I'm going to keep on moving. That's it. That's the movement. Being able also to, even if it's not in person, to get together with others. I think there are some important discussions that take place this week. Now, you may be thinking, it depends upon when you're listening to this, I'm not so sure you know what those discussions are. But this is good, because these discussions bring forth the necessary movement for a certain area that's kind of been like hanging in limbo for a little while. And it's going to start to take off in a way that's necessary. Maybe finally the right people are in place. You have to remember, Jupiter's in Libra, so it's not going to accomplish everything for everyone in one day. But it is bringing in necessary relationships, bringing the right people to the table. And so, fate is stepping in. And it's stepping in with a gift. I don't know what the gift is. I don't think it comes in a neatly wrapped package. But I do feel that it is something that is valuable to you. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be love. But it comes in the form of something that that you can get the ball rolling in your life. Like, you're not saying, okay, I think you're beyond that point of feeling stagnant. Let's put it that way, with that area. So let's go. And it's not a let's go and let's rush. It's like, it's a happy thing. Like, you feel good about it. I know this is coming, and this means the world to me. I don't see, except for way back in the beginning, patience, okay? But, patience is ever present. Remember that. And I think that you'll find that the dynamics of a particular relationship that's maybe been a little strained for a while, wishes are coming true here. Now, I have to say this, if there is some form of renewal out there, I don't want y'all thinking that it's the abusive ex that you're separated from, and, oh, goodness, he's going to come back to me. Let's hope not, okay? Let's let whatever relationship is taking form this week be one that is good for you, and that your beliefs in the universe and in yourself have brought you to this place. From this point forward, you want only abundance in your life. So don't go backward on me, okay? Don't go thinking that just because somebody shows up, oh, Cecilia said, no, 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 no. You are going forward, my friends. This is an awesome year of discovery for you. And this week is kind of like where you're starting that journey. And I think kind of like by March, you're finding it, maybe even sooner, that that thing is coming in. And for many of you, I do feel it is the love that you've been looking for. And because there's so many out there who listen, who, have been waiting for the right relationship. So what can you be doing this week? Well, you have a lot that's going on, okay? There's many different people, many different situations, many different things. In some areas, you have people that you're dealing with where, like I talked about the sitting down at the table. It doesn't have to be a real table. It could be over, the internet or whatever. And, talking over plans and how you're going to work things out. There's a lot more clarity that comes in. And I'm going to mention this now while I'm at it. I'll be coming forth with more details, but there is an Australian publication where I will be doing, starting with what comes out in December, a 3-month Astro Tarot. So those of you who are in Australia, watch for that information to come out in the next couple of weeks. I will be providing links, etc. Because as I look at this, I'm like, this reminds me of this type of thing. So it's like getting it all going, getting together with people, and putting plans into place. So for many of you, this can be around your job. And I think that there's so much that's here. In some ways, this represents a victory. In other ways, if you're still in that mode of looking back or whatever, you're going to be like, wow, look at what I've conquered. It's a little bit bittersweet in a sense, but I'm liking this. And there's also, you're going to notice, like what's the word I'm looking for? The adoration from others, okay? Whether it be a small child or a grown up, it really doesn't matter. But the love that you give, and I don't mean like romantic love, the love that you give and the compassion that you show toward others, you're going to see it reflected in the countenance of others this week. There's part of me that wants to say that something about this week and this new moon, and I don't know what it is, it feels downright magical, okay? Whether it's something that you've pulled off on your own or something that just merely makes its way into your life because it has an awesome, awesome feeling. But there's part of me that says that when it comes to like this, I want to say like relationship aspect, and there's several of them here in this reading. It's not one person, one thing. So you're going to have to pay attention as you go along. But I feel like that the timing on one is not quite right yet, and I really think that the timing gets better when March arrives. So this could be where your patience comes in, and try not to get too gung-ho with your choices going, oh my gosh, oh my God, guess what just happened? Guess who I heard from? You know what I'm saying? Stay calm. Stay calm. Because it just doesn't feel right yet, but it's on its way. So I want to thank you all for listening. I imagine none of that made any sense, and I'll see you all here again next week. Take care.